isn't in yet, so we're just going to have Coach do the team talk right after this, so let's get a few minutes.
Good night, everyone.
Before we go ahead. We go back to Robbie. All right, go ahead. Questions for Coach.
Coach, the goal before the season, according to you and Garth and Carlos, was to finish at least fourth in the Eastern Conference. The draw tonight, you had to get a win to do that tonight. Now you can't. I was curious your thoughts on not being able to achieve that goal.
Well, yeah, we couldn't, and I think we tried. We certainly tried. We certainly fought for that spot. Today, Columbus, I think, was better than us in many ways, and I felt that tactically we could have done a little bit better both on and off the ball. But what I take from today's performance and kind of summarize the season is kind of the fight of the team was always present, always. Many games where we were fighting till the end. Sometimes when we were not playing probably at our best, we're fighting till the end, and that's a signature for me of a championship team. Those are champion behaviors of never quitting, always fighting till the end, even though at times we know the opponent can be better than us. We are humbled to know that at times we cannot be the best team in the league, and we try certainly to be and to play it as the best, but today wasn't the case. Columbus, they have a very good team, a very good coach, and but we fought and we earned 1 point. That's very valuable to me.
You just said that the tactics, could have been better, and that y'all were humbled by this. How do you use this to try to get better in the next couple of weeks before you face Cincinnati and for the playoffs?
Well, I take it on me. This time I take it on me. I think players did everything we asked for, everything. It's just a tactical switch that Columbus did that we couldn't fix until the first half. And after that, it was more of an open game in the second half, I would say. And we knew that this was an opponent that was very similar to us, always wanting the ball, always disrupting. And when they break through the middle, they change the pace, very similar to what we do when we find Thiago or Brooks in the pockets or Tristan, and then we change the pace and we attack with some danger. They are the same, it's just today they were better. Basically, for the switch that they did, their wing back on the left was coming inside. That was causing us a lot of issues because then Rossetto had no man to mark. We're trying to put a lot of pressure on them. Thiago was on Nagby, and then Rossetto didn't have anyone because Tristan was on Morris or vice versa. Thiago and Tristan were highlighted to press Aiden and Morris and Nagby, but then the left wing back was inside. So that caused us a lot of issues tactically, and in the first half, we couldn't fix it. And then in the second half, we tried, and we tried something different, just putting more pressure with the 4-4-2. Unfortunately, the concussion with Jamal Jarre, kind of we changed a little bit there. But again, tactically, yes, we as coaches, we can do better. It was something that they didn't do before. Of course, they did it because they didn't put Yeboah. And normally, Yeboah is the one that is higher on the field. So, but I take it on me. The players did everything I asked for, a lot of effort, and I take that positive point from today.
That's it.
Coach, last game against Philly, this game, and then the next game against Cincinnati, they're like playoff games in a way. Is there a way you can kind of use that to kind of talk to the team about what it's going to be like during the postseason?
Yeah, that's exactly the point of all of this is, guys, we faced, in that moment, the fourth place in the league, Philadelphia, who was the runner-up in the last season. They went very, very long way in the CCL. So they're a very good team, and we were right there. I think for, I would say, 80-plus minutes, we were the better team against them, playing in their house, and just a little lapsus in the last 6 minutes of the first half. But I take that we are able to compete against the best today, even though I think Columbus was better than us in many things. I think we also create a few chances that were, encouraging, and we can play against match the intensity and the football of the best teams in the league. And now it will be the same against Cincinnati, who, if you remember last time, it was almost 70 minutes, 70-something, where we were winning against them, and I think we were better. And then they start to get some momentum, and they scored 2 goals. But I would say that we can use this to really, really compete against the best teams in the league. And then when we are in playoffs, probably we'll learn something about these couple games Philadelphia not shutting down, being alert in the restarts, the set pieces. The first goal we conceded against Philly, we were not ready. So we need to learn from there. It's another lesson in playoffs to be alert in everything. Today, tactically, how we can solve things, not just from the coaches, but the players as well on the field, how they can find the solution in certain tactical issues. And then playing away in a very tough place like Cincinnati can be another good lesson for us, and I would take it, and we'll try to prepare the team the best for the playoffs.
Say it then, Doug.
Gonzalo, you mentioned top four spot is out the question for Atlanta. You have a long break before you go to Cincinnati on the 21st for decision day. What are sort of the goals for the team? Is it just to essentially show the best performance you can against a team that is maybe a favorite for MLS Cup and use that momentum to get yourself in a good spot going into the playoffs?
Yes, for sure. I would say that we have now almost 2 weeks to prepare that final game. I haven't made my mind on what is going to be the goal, because I was hoping to win tonight and then fighting for the top four, and that was the idea. Now that how I can say, you asked this question, I start to think about trying to prevent some injuries, trying to prevent some suspensions. We have, I think, a couple guys in 4 yellows, so do we need to take care of that, how we do? So a couple of those things is international windows. Some guys will come back from long flights and from international games. How many minutes they play? Do we rotate so we don't risk any injury? But we also push for the best possible. Maybe the best possible we can get now is fifth. We have to push for that, so it's a bit of balance there. So a couple of objectives there. I have to make my mind after tonight's game, and we will come up with a plan for sure.
Doug?
2 questions. Since you just mentioned pushing for fifth, is it about getting fifth, or maybe is it about trying to get the best possible playoff matchup, if depending upon win, lose, or draw, what happens? And second question, Silva and Lobchanice, the second consecutive game, they didn't seem as effective as the previous games. Is it just opponents have more tape, or is it just sometimes this happens?
Sometimes this happens. I would say that they were doing everything I asked for. So Saba, I think, was very incisive at times. I wanted him a little more out wide, and he was coming too far inside at times in the first half. But even there, I think he created a few half chances, and yeah, for sure he didn't have that final touch that was happening before. But it happens. He's a fantastic player. He's going to be an amazing player for us. We already saw that, and I think at times, he needs to get better, get to know better his teammates around him, and once that happens, he's going to be very good.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the fight that the team has been consistently showing most of the season. How have you, as a coach, and the coaching staff implemented that into the team?
I would say that at times it's intrinsic, it's within the players. I would say that also the coaching staff put together normally very good goals in terms of fighting, competing in the training sessions. So the training sessions are for us the process that we stick to. We love the processes. We love to working in something multiple times, and mentality, never giving up. Last minute, last goal comes double, for example. Some rules that we put to make sure that when we are winning, we don't give soft goals in the last minute, because it almost feels like you lost the game. And when you are losing, you go for it, because if you score at the end, you can have the reward and have this feeling that we have tonight. So a couple of things that we do like that in competitive matches. At times we put competitive teams against each other. We mix everyone and do tournaments. So winning matter, losing matter, and we create that type of environment. What I would say is mostly the players, because you can train as much as you want, and then the day of the game, they have to put that work in, and they have to play with that passion and that connection. And for me, at the end, even though we didn't get the 3 points that we wanted, the connection with the fans at the end was fantastic. And that's that epitomizes everything we try to do here with the fans and the connection with the players.
Last one in English, Henry, go ahead.
You just mentioned Jamal Chiare as well. You mentioned the concussion, but how's he doing?
I don't know. I haven't checked, honestly. We're with the families and the fans, so I need to go inside and check what's going on. They took it out for concussion. It was actually a concussion sub, so we had another one, but I felt that only Miguel after that was something that we tactically can do better. But I would say that before tonight's minutes, he was doing very good. He was, you can see the energy he brings. He had a chance. You can see how good he is in the air, how competitive he is, how fast he can be pressing, chasing. He's very good. So I hope this is nothing major and we can have him very soon.
Coach, there were a few instances in the game where I guess a bit of miscommunication or maybe not understanding where teammates were going to be at times, letting the ball run, there's no one there, or stopping it, or, putting it in an area where they're expecting a run, but there's no one arriving there. How do you guys kind of, I guess, stop that from happening so much? How do you all handle that?
Well, training, I would say, is the best way. Training is the best way to get them together. Again, probably the first sample of games with Sava, Shande, Gigi, Tristan, kind of the new players up front with Thiago and Gigi, it looked very good and encouraging, and it's just freshness and a lot of energy from them because they want to show well. But after that, the cohesion part takes more time. And to understand everyone's movement, Sava's movement, Shande's movement, they are starting to get to know each other. And as much as we want to, to hurry up with that connection, it takes time. But I think we're in a good place. Again, today, yes, there were a few of those, but there were others where we were creating very good chances, very good movements, very good sequences. So I think the progression is there.
Last one, Danilo, with head coach in the locker room. Danilo, go ahead.
Coach, se rescató un punto en 6, considerando que se ha jugado con 2 de los mejores 5 equipos de la conferencia. ¿Se está para competir? ¿Te gustaría enfrentar a alguien diferente? ¿A qué equipo te gustaría enfrentar en los playoffs?
Bueno, sí, creo que se rescató un punto. Creo que estamos muy competitivos. El partido pasado con Filadelfia, creo que competimos de buena manera contra ellos y creo que el día de hoy contra, no sé si el mejor o uno de los mejores, de los que mejor juegan al fútbol, al menos de los que yo más admiro, que es Columbus, competimos muy bien. Creo que sí fueron mejores que nosotros, pero también hubo lapsos donde creo que nosotros también lo hicimos bien y les creamos muchos problemas, tanto es así que acabamos el partido encima de ellos. Entonces creo que sí estamos para competir y no tengo ninguna preferencia de jugar contra uno u otro. El que sea va a ser difícil y todo parece indicar que nos enfrentaremos a algunos de estos que nos estamos enfrentando en estos momentos.
Thanks, guys. We have to coach do a quick team
Thank
talk
you,
in the
guys.
locker room.
Thank you, guys.